Okay, so in this video, I want to show you guys a few rules which are useful to remember when you're doing matrix multiplication. And I'm going to start with example 15.3.2 from page 590. So in that example, you're given these two matrices, matrix A, which is this one. So this is essentially a 3 into 2 matrix. Sorry, a 3 into 3 matrix. And then you have a matrix B, which is a 3 into 2 matrix. And what they ask you to find here is, okay, the first thing they want you to find is, okay, can you multiply A into B? So can we do that? So we can, right? Because notice that the number of columns in the first matrix is equal to the number of rows in the second matrix. So that means, yes, you can multiply them. And then once you multiply them, you're going to get a matrix which is going to have 3 rows and 2 columns. So how do you do that? Well, essentially you do the same technique we were just talking about, right? So your matrix C is going to be what? 0 into 3 plus 1 into 1 plus 2 into minus 1. That's your first entry, right? And then your second entry will be 0 into 2, 1 into 0, and 2 into 1. So the first entry will be 0 into 3 plus 1 into 1 plus 2 into minus 1. Second entry will be 0 into 2 plus 1 into 0 plus 2 into 1. Right? So then you do the same, right? Then you take this row multiplied with this column. This is going to be entry here. Then this row multiplied with this column, another entry here. This row multiplied with this column, another entry here. This row multiplied with this column, another entry here. And then, so the textbook, they give you the answer. The matrix C would be minus 1, 2, 8, 5, 5, 14. Okay, so you can try this out. But essentially, what I wanted to show you here is, so we can do this multiplication. We can do this multiplication of matrix A into B. But suppose they wanted you to find, but can we do this multiplication? Can we do matrix? Can we find the multiplication of B into A? Okay, but notice that if you're doing B into A, what was the dimension of B? So your B was a 3 into 2 matrix, right? So your B was a 3 into 2 matrix, and your A is a 3 into 3 matrix. So notice that this multiplication of B into A is not possible because the number of columns in matrix B is not equal to the number of rows in matrix A. So that means this thing, you cannot do this. You cannot find the multiplication of this. So this leads to, sort of an interesting result that the multiplication of A into B is not equal to the multiplication of B into A. So we can carry out this operation. You can do A into B, but we cannot do this operation B into A. Okay, so this is one important thing to remember. So, when you're doing matrix multiplication, sometimes you think, oh, these look very similar to how we, do in normal algebra. We say, oh, you know what, x into y is the same as y into x, right? But when it comes to matrices, when you're, multiplying all these coefficients, this does not necessarily have to be true. Okay, so A into B does not mean that it does not mean that A into B is the same as B into A. Okay, so this is a very useful rule of matrix multiplication, which I want you guys to remember, and I'll show you a few more rules in the next video.